Luther, the popular British psychological TV show starring Idris Elba as Luther, a detective that likes to bend the rules in order to get justice, while also battling his own demons. Recently, it was announced that a Netflix movie for the TV show will be released in March, titled Luther: Fallen Son. The show itself ran for 5 series, from 2010 to 2019, and includes many characters who have seemingly disappeared from the show with no real explanation. So today, let's take a look at 5 missing characters from the TV show, along with the events that happened just before they vanished from the screen. Could any of them make an appearance in the upcoming Luther movie? Series 1, Rose Teller. Before Luther was under the command of Martin Schenk in the serial and series division, he originally was reporting to Rose Teller. Throughout the series, she constantly reminds Luther that he has to do his job by the book. Towards the end of Series 1, Luther's wife Zoe is murdered by his friend, former DSI Erin Gray, who then frames Luther for the crime. Rose leads the case to bring Luther to justice, all while unknowingly working alongside Erin Gray, the actual killer. Luther arranges to meet with Ian as Rose gives a kill order to bring him down if needed. Luther tells Ian that he's taken the diamonds that Ian's stolen, and then pulls out a knife, which causes Rose to give the order to shoot Luther, but Luther's partner, Justin Ripley, yells and creates a distraction, helping Luther to escape. Rose then places Ripley under arrest. Meanwhile, Martin Schenk is brought on to also investigate, but begins to suspect Luther's innocence and Ian Reed's guilt. Ian Reed is eventually killed by Alice Morgan, and we never hear about Rose Teller again. Was she fired from the force? Is she still working as a DSU in Luther's original unit? Series 2, Jenny Jones. Luther is transferred to the series and serial unit in this series. He's approached by Caroline Jones, the wife of a man Luther sent to jail for killing and cutting up a prostitute. Caroline asks for help for her daughter Jenny, who now stars in adult films. Caroline also blames Luther for her daughter Jenny turning out the way that she did, and says that it's because of her father's imprisonment. Luther grabs Jenny while she's filming a movie with some men and brings her to the house of Mark North, the former boyfriend of his deceased ex-wife Zoe. However, Baba, a local crime figure, and her grandson Toby Kent won her back. Later, after Luther brings Jenny back to his apartment, Toby Kent shows up and tries to rape her. She ends up killing him as Luther plants the body in the trunk of one of Baba's henchmen's cars. Luther eventually threatens Baba and tells her to leave both him and Jenny alone, or he will send Alice Morgan after her. Luther and Jenny are seen eating ice cream outside together, and that's the last time we ever see of Jenny. Does she move away? Series 2 and 3, Erin Gray. Erin joins the show in Series 2. She can be described as more of a play-by-the-book, straight-laced kind of cop. She immediately has an issue with Luther upon joining the team, even asking Justin Ripley, Luther's partner at the time, if Luther is really as dirty as people say. Erin's suspicions about Luther really grows during Series 2, when Luther pulls the fire alarm in order to go into his boss's office and access his computer to find out the whereabouts for a witness that the police have under their protection. Erin puts the pieces together and implicates Luther as the person who was in his boss's office, after asking Justin to help her to take him down, to which he declines, and after a failed attempt at reporting Luther to the higher-ups, she leaves the series and serial unit. In Season 3, Erin reemerges working alongside DSI George Stark in a unit investigating police corruption. Erin and Stark try to get Justin to turn on Luther, but it doesn't work. They then turn their attention to the new woman in Luther's life, Mary Day, and Stark uses her as bait in order to lure Luther out to them. Stark is eventually killed by Tom Marwood, a vigilante who happens to be the same man that previously killed Luther's partner, Justin Ripley. Erin Gray is shown on a stretcher being rushed into an ambulance, which is the last time we see her. Did she eventually die from her injuries? Series 4, Emma Lane. Luther is living alone in a cottage by the sea in the beginning of Series 4. Alice Morgan had already left the cottage at this point in order to steal some diamonds so they could both head to Sao Paulo. Emma showed up to Luther's cottage with Detective Chief Inspector Theo Bloom to let Luther know about Alice Morgan's supposed death. While Theo and Emma are trying to catch Stephen Rose, a killer who is also a cannibal, Theo is on the phone with Luther when he is blown up after opening a fridge that was booby-trapped with a bomb. Emma is traumatized and she vowed to do anything to catch the killer. After killing his ex-girlfriend's husband, Mr. Woodward, Stephen Rhodes kidnaps his ex-girl, Katie, and her children and ties them up in an old warehouse. Emma, while in Luther's car, takes a gun from the glove box that he took off of one of George Cornelius' hitmen. Emma and Luther head to the warehouse, and Emma eventually sneaks in, pulls out the gun, and kills Stephen Rose. The last time we see her is when Emma and Luther are outside talking after the whole ordeal. Did she quit the police force? When interviewed for the RadioTimes.com, writer Neil Cross simply said no and declined to say any more when asked about her return for Series 5. Series 4, Megan Cantor. Megan appears in the first episode of Series 4 to tell Luther that she has a message from her presumably dead Alice Morgan, who supposedly appears to her. The message? Hell is real, and Stacy has the owl. Megan later admits to killing Alice to get Luther's attention. Megan, however, is actually a woman named Sarah Roberts. Back in 1999, a younger Luther promised Megan that he would protect her from another teenager named Stacy Bell, who confided in Megan that she killed their classmate, Jonathan Black. Stacy, as a teenager, blamed a local pedophile and even stole Jonathan's toy owl and still kept it in her apartment as an adult. Stacy Bell was never brought to justice, and so Megan blamed Luther and held resentment for him. Luther finally makes things right by sneaking into Stacy's apartment, planting drugs that he got from George Cornelius into Jonathan Black's stuffed toy, and sending the cops to Stacy's apartment and getting her arrested. The last scene was Luther telling Megan that she needs to be scared of him because he's coming after her. Does she disappear after Luther's threat? Is Luther just waiting for the right time to go after her? Has Luther given up on his revenge since Alice was proven to be alive the following series? I guess we'll just have to find out. Like, share, subscribe, and be sure to hit the notification bell for more videos.